I really do like the designs from the Cosmic era. They're just a really nice mix of new designs and some old designs from the Universal Century. I specifically like the mobile suits from Gundam Seed Freedom. I think those designs are the best that the Cosmic era has to offer. But one of the original ones that they made for the series was this Astray Gundam, specifically the blue frame. Just something about it looks really cool to me. However, the issue is that the HG Astray mold is really old and not very good, especially this Astray Sengoku. It just kind of sucks and literally sits on the shelf of shame in my room. So one day I decided to go out on a limb and get the RG Astray, mainly because I've been trying to collect more real grades, but also, I haven't really heard anything really bad about this kit, and oh boy, this kit rocks. It is probably my second favorite RG behind the RG 2.0. So today we'll be taking a look at the RG Astray Red Frame because it is just a phenomenal kit. Welcome to the UV Release channel. My name is Grant. Let's get right into the review. All right, so right here we have the Gundam Astray. This kit was released in 2015, and I got this kit for $31. So pretty, for real grades, it's about regular price, but it's not horrible. It really isn't too bad until you look at kits like the RG 1.0 or the Wing Zero, where those kits are regularly found for under 25 bucks usually. And unlike the RG 2.0 or even the real grade Zazabi, this kit does still have an inner frame, a pre-molded one at the very least. So whenever you start looking at other real grades, it doesn't really hold up nearly as well. But compared to all the other HG Astrays or even the 144 Astrays, this one is like leagues better than them. Honestly, I think what's really the best part is definitely the head. It just looks really nice and intimidating and not derpy like a lot of the old Seed HGs usually do. Overall, the kit is pretty nice and it was a pretty smooth build. It does have the usually two different shades of like the red, two different shades of white, even two different shades of gray. It fit together pretty well. I did have to use a glue on a couple places. I did have to glue in this little chest part and then the V-fin just in case, because I've heard the V-fin is really loose, but my V-fin actually felt pretty good in there. I just glued it in just in case. But overall, it feels pretty solid. Nothing really fall out. It does have a weird shaking sound, but I don't even know what that is. It's a pretty nice kit, pretty solid kit, and for a older real grade, it feels really nice. I'm not really afraid of like moving this thing around. It feels pretty good, honestly. Let's get into articulation. Hopefully I can remember everything. So the head is on a ball joint. It moves around pretty well, not the most expressive. The shoulders can rotate 360 degrees and can go out. Well, they should be able to go out. There we go. And then, of course, you have a bicep swivel, pretty decent in at the elbow. You know the elbow even more by rotating the wrist joint in. It is very tight, though. And the hands are all on ball joints. Now, the chest can rotate pretty freely. It does bump in a little bit on mainly this part on the bit of the front skirt, and then you have a pretty radical ab crunch coming in. A part back here lifts up, so it works out pretty well there. The legs can go up pretty far. They can also go out really far and back really far, not much hindering it. You do have a thigh swivel. Leg popped off. Let's take a look at this. You do have a pretty nice bend at the knee, a lot of good separating armor, and then you do have a front and back, and a little bit of a pivot, not a lot, and then you do have some nice foot articulation. So I guess the Astray didn't really hold up to the articulation test. Some stuff fell off, mainly the shoulder pads, and one of the legs fell off completely, but when I was posing it for the beginning of the video, I had zero issues, so I definitely can tell that the shoulder pads are probably one of the loose points. I think that's even what's rattling around whenever you shake it. They are just kind of floating. But overall, pretty solid articulation. Let's get into the accessories. Starting off our accessories, we do have the closed-fisted hands that come on the pre-molded runner. A pair of nice holding hands. For the left hand, you have an open hand. And then for the right, a trigger finger hand for the gun. And then, of course, you have a pair of the movable hands that come on the pre-molded runner. They look really, really nice with the nice color separation in there. And they do have, of course, the finger articulation, but they also do have some nice wrist movements as well. Next up, you have a pair of beam chopsticks. You do have 4 hilts. These 2 hilts with the pegs on them are meant to be plugged into the hands, specifically these pre-molded hands or even the open or the holding hands. And then you do have 2 just with nothing on them that are meant to go onto the backpack. I did not show the backpack off because it doesn't really feel like it's supposed to come off, and sometimes these parts do fall off. Next up, we have the beam rifle. It does have a color separated lens, and it looks pretty cool. It also has like a little side sight is what it looks like, and a movable handle. And it can be held in the hand pretty well. It's not too top heavy, and if you really want to, I bet you could even hold it with the other hand. Next up, we do have the shield. The shield looks really nice, and it is very, very nicely color separated. And it does even have a pre-molded hinge piece to connect it to the arm. That's pretty cool. It just simply goes onto that hole on the back of the arm. And then once you get in there, it can easily slide into the hands, and it's pretty much just only hold on by that peg. You cannot hold it onto the arm without the peg because the handle is not even really holding on. It's just kind of sliding in there. We're just kind of going to jump to this real quick. We do have a base adapter. It slides on pretty easily, and it honestly feels like it's held on there pretty well. There's a lot of room for it to move, and it definitely does take some intentional force to pull it out. Next up, we do have the katana, and the sheath looks really, really nice. It does have a piece that can be held onto the side skirting or even the back of the skirt, and it just looks really, really nice, especially compared to something like the HG kits where it doesn't really hold on very well. This is definitely a pleasant welcome. And the best part is that the sword is a very, very nice chrome color. And whoever decided to give this kit a sword was a literal genius. It looks so good with it. And the sheath can be just pegged onto the side skirt like that, and it looks pretty cool. That is all of the accessories. Let's get into the comparisons. For our first comparison, we're going to pull up the blue frame, which is a very, very old kit, and it's missing a lot of color. These little red vents I did paint, and the shield I painted. You can definitely tell it's missing quite a bit of color. But the blue frame still looks really cool. I don't even have to look it up. I already know that the blue frame RG is a P-Bandai exclusive. Next up, we have the red frame inversion, I believe, from the Breaker Battlelog. I really wish that this RG kit came with the flight pack. It doesn't, and that's pretty disappointing, honestly. Here it is next to the Dagger L. There it is with the Strike Rouge with the IWSP pack. The HG Buster Gundam. The HG Strike Noir. For some general comparisons, we have it next to the RG 2.0. A standard 6-inch action figure, we have the Black Series Phase 1 Captain Rex. A deluxe class Transformer, Lockdown. A Lego minifigure, Cole. And then the Sharpie. And that is the RG Gundam Astray red frame. This kit is really cool. It's probably one of my favorite real grades, definitely in the top 3 so far that I've built. I don't know if I like it better than the Zaza B, but definitely it's not better than the RG 2.0. And it's definitely better than that old HG mold, 100%. This is the best 1/44th RG that is available. I really like this kit, and I would recommend it if you like it. It is $31, and I don't know if it's that good if you're not really interested in how the kit looks. Thank you all for watching today's video, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.